Hey guys, really great to be here. Love Korea. We've been here just a few days, so I'm Beniamin Mincu, founder and CEO of Elrond. And tonight I'll share a bit about Elrond, what we've been trying to do, what it's all about, and we'll cover three things. First, you'll get an intro, some context on what Elrond is about. Second, we'll try to do a testnet demo. There are obviously some bugs always coming up, but we'll try to do something very interesting. And then third, we'll try to show you one of the first dApps that are running on Elrond, namely a game that we've built, and we'll probably show it for the first time for you guys. So yeah, let's start. What is Elrond? Elrond is a new blockchain architecture designed from scratch to bring a 1000x improvement specifically in throughput or scalability and execution speed. It's based on two key innovations. One is adaptive state sharding, and the second one is secure proof of stake. The idea with adaptive state sharding is, you probably know by now of sharding. Sharding is a way of partitioning the network into smaller networks so that you can parallelize transactions. There are three versions of sharding, each one increasingly more difficult. There's transaction sharding, network sharding, and then state sharding. And in Elrond, we're attempting to solve the most difficult of the problems and then also do adaptivity. Adaptivity means that you can start the network with one single shard, and the shard can split as the network grows in real time based on a binary tree model. And then it can, by splitting, it can increase the throughput, and it can also maintain the level of security needed in order to continue working in the network. The second component is secure proof of stake, and this means that you have proof of stake as a Sybil attack prevention mechanism. You have a very robust security mechanism by employing random sampling of the consensus group. So this means that for any shard you have, say, 400 nodes that are eligible validators, and from those 400 nodes you have 63 nodes that are randomly sampled and elected for each round. A round is 5 seconds in Elrond, and then for each 5 seconds you have a new consensus group which is formed. You cannot predict who will be in the consensus group before it happens, and then you have a very limited time in order to bias the consensus or attack it. So in addition to this security mechanism, we have also a reshuffling of 1/3 of the nodes in each shard at the end of each epoch. And this makes the whole sharding approach very, very secure when you attempt to run it, and also secure in the face of various attack vectors. The third characteristic of the secure proof of stake consensus mechanism is that it's really fast. It's based on a variation of PBFT, which means that you have a latency of 5 seconds. So this is how fast your transaction is executed, but then the finality comes after 2 or 3 blocks in order to have irreversibility and make sure that there is a really strong security in the network. So all this gives us a starting point of 10,000 transactions per second. Just for comparison, right now Bitcoin processes 7 transactions per second, and Ethereum somewhere at 15 transactions per second. We have a 5 seconds latency and then negligible cost. And the really cool stuff is we're not only talking about it, but this is up and running right now in a testnet, as you'll see. For context, Elrond is built by a team of entrepreneurs, engineers, and researchers with very deep technical backgrounds in computer science, Some of the guys in our team have PhDs in computer science. There are Olympiads at AI competitions, math competitions, and so forth. But we also have a deep technical background. I've been part of the blockchain space since about 2013. I've been part of the NEM core team. So the whole team has a very, very interesting and very effective experience to build something like a new blockchain architecture. And more than anything, I would say that our team is very, very hardcore. We're a bunch of guys all coming from Romania, located in Romania right now, and we are working day and night to deliver this as fast as possible and get real adoption. This is the main focus for what we're trying to do right now. Some context, Elrond has started at the end of 2017, October. That's the point where we've started formalizing the architecture and so forth. We've been working a lot on stuff. In May 2018, we published the first technical paper with the first full formalization of adaptive state sharding and secure proof of stake. In July, we released the first prototype demonstrating that we could do cross-shard transactions. In November, we open sourced the prototype, and after open sourcing the prototype, we've actually started everything from scratch for the testnet in order to improve things even further after we had built the prototype. So we've achieved a 30x improvement in performance from prototype to testnet. Now, coming back to this point, in June, closed the first private round, because until then, Elrond has been self-funded. We didn't need money. We've been in the space for a lot of time, so we could focus on building the stuff. And we've partnered with some really key players in the space in order to make sure that Elrond has a key distribution channel. Binance, Electric Capital, NGC, Maven 11, some of you may know these people. We've also partnered with some key people in the space and from outside the blockchain space, because beyond building the technical architecture, perhaps the most important thing is that we want to really connect Elrond with real businesses and real startups to build on it. And we've done a few of these steps already. Some of you may know runtime verification. They are the ones you probably know. Grigore Roșu, he has worked at NASA at some point and invented a thing called K-framework for formal verification languages. A framework which was used at NASA to make sure that bugs are discovered before rockets take off. Because essentially, if you don't discover them, a bug can be very, very costly. So he discovered that right now it's the same for blockchain. If you don't discover bugs and then people lose $150 million, as some projects have, it's very, very problematic. And so he's built K-framework. What we're doing with them is Grigore is first one of the advisors of Elrond, but more important, we're building Elrond's VM on K-framework, which allows us to support 3 VMs at the same time. So we sort of got a meta VM, which makes sure that we're compatible with the EVM part, so that any dApp that exists in the space can really easily migrate to Elrond. We are also supporting Yada VM, which is Cardano's VM, and which is built on LLVM. And then third, and perhaps really important, we are also supporting PoS, which will be a major step forward. Typing DNA is a startup that is probably one of the leaders in typing biometrics. So we are partnering with them to explore some ways to use what they have and bring it to the blockchain space. They're also very interested in how they can integrate what blockchain brings. Nash, you probably know. SmartBill is one of the largest startup in Romania that is processing or offering accounting services as a service. They have something like more than 50,000 companies already onboarded, and we're exploring some ways with them to integrate blockchain for businesses directly. PSRL is a research facility in Romania, which is doing research for perhaps the largest energy providers in Europe in order to offer them a solution. And they built some pilot projects on Ethereum, but they do not have the scalability needed to be used in production. So they're trying to use Elrond right now. Chainlink, you probably know, and Holochain again. We have a lot of discussion with real businesses from around the world, even here in Korea already. But this process is a process that takes time. There are a lot of discussions where you first need to educate the companies what can be done with blockchain and what can be done with a really scalable architecture that can be used in real world settings. And we're doing this really hard work right now. So yeah, I think I covered the most important point that I want to underscore is that right now all of the things I've told you are available and running in the testnet. So we're already having a testnet that is live, processing more than 10,000 transactions per second with only 5 shards. And we already have a wallet, an explorer, you will see all of that. Of course, this is a testnet, it's not the final version. There are still things to be improved, ironed out, tested even further, but this is the process where we are, and we are really, really excited for that. Another important point is that following the private round that we've closed, we were the last Binance Launchpad project that has launched. There was a very rigorous process with Binance in what it means to do a Launchpad listing. It took more than 1.5 months, a lot of work on their front, on our end. But we are very excited to have partnered with them, especially from a distribution standpoint. And I don't think there's a need to underscore that Binance is really the largest exchange in the world and also the fastest growing. So yeah, moving forward, a bit of what we're focusing on right now. The next sort of month is focused on continuing with the testnet, and in order to continue and even let a lot of the community members engage, we are starting a battle of nodes, which is very similar to what the guys at Cosmos did with Game of Stakes. And people will be able to engage, come in, run nodes, try to take the network down, and receive a lot of rewards in the process. This will help us iron out a lot of the bugs, stress test the network, but move forward at a more rapid speed. We already have more than 100 people playing with the nodes, validators, running all of that, and we're very excited about that. We're going to publish the validator economics in probably the next days, as soon as we arrive home. But it's important to note that at first there will be a very significant reward for the validators which join, especially until we reach a certain point. So the rewards part will be 40–50% as long as we are not exceeding the 3,000 nodes point, and then after that it decreases. We are also having a game that demonstrates that you can run smart contracts on sharded architecture. We have already done this during the last weeks, but the game is very early, so we're just testing the first version. There are still some bugs, some things to iron out, but you'll see it's very exciting. And ecosystem expansion, this is the main focus for the next month, in addition to the technical side. So we'll be traveling around the world we're in Korea. We've been in Korea for the last week. We'll return and then we'll go to Japan. We'll visit Singapore afterwards and then Dubai in order to have discussion with some of the most relevant companies in the countries, a lot of the exchanges and some of the funds. Yeah, so upcoming months. I think. Yeah, you already know that we're at 10,000 transactions per second. We have already onboarded a payment gateway, which is the largest payment gateway in Romania, payment processor that will essentially allow everyone who has Elrond to use it both online and offline. Offline, we have about 5,000 to 6,000 stores that will already accept it. So we're very excited about that. And these are some of the things we will be launching in the next months. The name service, as you know, and the dApp store. The dApp store will be a place where you will be able to feature dApps and get a really, really meaningful audience. So let me jump into that. This is a much more detailed overview on the roadmap. You'll be able to find this on Binance Research if you search for Elrond. Then I'll just jump to a bit of comparison. We don't really focus too much on these comparisons, but still we just want to show a direction here. So we have achieved a very, very significant improvement, and this will translate into very important impact into the space once we have the adoption that is needed. So that's the focus right now. This is the point where I'll tell you a bit about the process that has been started for validators. So we have a Riot channel, everyone can join, you can prepare for running a node. We have documentation for that. It's very, very easy, a lot easier than probably most of the other networks. And as you'll see, the important points are that we have a large community. They're very excited and willing to help with everything you need. So a few ideas about the validators. High economic incentives, especially if you join early and contribute. This is a very important point. Low hardware requirements. You'll just need an average dual-core CPU with 4 gigs of RAM and 2 gig hardware. This is a very, very important difference between Elrond and probably other projects, and it will also allow a lot of other people which are not specialized in running nodes and validators to come in, join, play with technology, and this is what we essentially want. We have the testnet, which is open source. I already mentioned that, and you'll find all the information at docs.elrond.com for how you can run a validator node with a step-by-step guide. In case you have any other questions, feel free to join our channel. This is the game. We'll jump to it in a second. Let me see. This is the part. So we can just jump to the demo and the game. My colleague here will...
maybe I'll just speak what happens in the background. Sure.
So we'll just do a demo.
Actually, we started. We started another testnet because the other one is already with lots of validators in. So as soon as okay, so this.
Can I ask one question before we wait? So the token on Binance, is it like a ERC20 token right now, or is it the mainnet token that you're selling?
No, it's the Binance chain.
It's okay, it's a Binance chain token. Yeah. And we'll be swapping over.
Yeah.
That's why my question is. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, so this is the testnet we started some minutes ago. Yeah, so you can see some information about the current state of the chain. Currently, it hasn't been stress tested with transactions, but Ocean will soon send some transactions. Yeah, down below you can see the latest blocks, the latest transactions, and a nice graph to see the TPS, the current TPS.
Sure, I'll help you out a bit. So the idea is of this current testnet is that it's running the latest branch, which is still on internal testing. This covers the smart contract execution on the very first architecture which is able to run smart contract execution on a asynchronous model. And the reason that this is the mic is not working. Yeah, I'll just jump to the game and show you what's happening. So once you create a new account, once you go to cryptobubbles.io, you can, for example, test. Just a second, Adrian, maybe you can.
Yeah, so just creating a new user. And probably you'll figure out what game this is. It's a pretty popular game, which we added some, let's say, betting parts on it, where you, when entering, you start with a bet, and then this everything goes into a pot, and the first three winners of the game share the pot at the end. So it's yeah, it's the famous game. I think you might know. Yeah. Yeah, I think our servers are not in the right place. Yeah, here you can see this is the address of the smart contract. The 00.
Sorry, just a second. Yes.
Yeah, so we can see here transaction hash, the block. It was added to 29 seconds ago. From whom it's the address of the player, and then we had to form some aliases for the smart contracts in order to be able to move them around the shards. To optimize how the load of the network on each shard, the load of transactions. So we are using some aliases. This is the smart contract for this game. Yeah, and you can see here some transactions. It was that one was the joining, and currently the transaction fee is 0. We are working on adding the fees right now for the transaction and smart contracts, and this will probably come into the source code in the next 2 weeks. Yeah, I guess you didn't finish the game, so there's no way for you.
I think we can jump to the other part.
Yeah, and yeah. So this was a separate testnet just for the game, and now to stress another testnet with transactions. Lucian is going. We have some mechanism to generate lots of transactions and throw them out at the network. So this is one node. What you see here is the logs that are coming out of a node. There's a block there. It's a transaction block. Currently, it doesn't have transactions in.
It takes like a few more seconds. Right now, it's starting the generation.
Yeah, so in the last one there were 300, yeah, and this one has 9,000 transactions in. Yeah, currently this is the live TPS, it's just with 5 shards, and as soon as Evolution launches more transactions and these get processed, then it's easy to boost. The peak we've reached, I think we tested a few weeks ago in CPU with 20 shards, and we got somewhere around 65,000. Of course, this is not that relevant to talk about TPSs, but the impressive thing is that it's currently live, it's working, and we're improving it as the days go by. Okay, yeah, thank you.
So just a few more points. So the game, if you can jump to the presentation again, just to close. Okay. So the idea with the game is we've tried to take a game which was probably one of the most addictive games in a few countries during the last years. It was number 2 or number 3 in Europe and probably a few other countries, and have put this on the blockchain. What does it mean? We've not changed only the fact that you can interact with the game on the blockchain, but we have also changed the user experience so that you essentially can play by different rules. When you join, as Adrian mentioned, you have a price that you need to pay in order to join the game. But the really cool part is that you have a multiplayer game where if you eat someone on the screen, your colleagues, you get their money. So whoever wins after the first 4 minutes, when you have 100 players, gets a pretty hefty sum of money. This is much more interesting than the normal betting games that you see, and it's also not random. So you can optimize, learn some strategies, test, and the really cool part is that it's fun, really easy to play, and you can win some money in it if you're better than your friends. This is available again right now, and the really cool integration part is that we've added the economics to the game and the integration with the smart contract. So whenever you join, there is a settlement layer that is done on the blockchain. When you exit, there's again the settlement done on the blockchain. We will probably have more instant settlements in the next versions, but we're really excited to have this first one so soon after we implemented smart contracts. Going to end, so the ending point is how you can engage with Elrond. It's nice that we're here. We have, as I mentioned, the 10,000 transactions per second is an important milestone. This is available in the testnet right now. I think this is a really big deal to play. You can play with it, see what it can do. So you can first engage by becoming a validator. There are a lot of rewards by doing that, and we have more than 100 people already playing with the validator nodes. We will release the economics very soon and are welcoming any kind of feedback on that front. You have all the documentation on docs.elrond.com about the architecture, the validator part, and smart contracts. You can also build a dApp. We are going to release some templates, help the community to play with the smart contracts as well. This will come in the coming weeks. Then you can, of course, give us any feedback with respect to businesses. We are very much interested in getting the businesses in, because up until this point, businesses have had a really hard time implementing or using blockchain because of its throughput and performance problems. Now they can do it. And then sixth, we have Telegram and a lot of social media channels. You can just reach us on Telegram, just message me, whatever feedback you have. We are really excited to be here and share all of this with you. Thanks a lot.